it's really the gift that God gave me to help people and to to give them something that they could hopefully last a little longer than some stupid song about a truck and a drunk.
Well, and that's why you write "I'm living for you," right?
Yes.
So
I got to tell you something about Mastedon, and Dave Amato doesn't he's a guitar player in REO Speedwagon now, been there for longer than Rich Rath was there. He's been there 24 years, I believe. He's not a professed Christian, and Dave Amato sang the majority of the songs on that Lafcadio record, and those are some pretty straight ahead vertical lyrics,
right?
And I didn't think he was going to do it when he read the lyric. And I love Dave Amato as much as anybody in this world, man. He's just, it's just his heart. I'd love to have Dave Amato in heaven with me, and only God can decide that. I would never make that judgment. But to hear Dave sing those lyrics and put every ounce of passion that he had into singing that stuff was so awesome to me, man. And Dino. We would sit there and he'd be belting out just this, really heavy spiritual line and give it, and he's a people pleaser, man. Is that good enough? I'll do it again. I'll do it 10 times if you want.
Right.
Are you sure that's good enough? He'd get home at night. He'd call me. Hey, Johnny, was that good enough? Dave, it's great, man. It's great. How about the guitar part? It was such an awesome experience to have him part of that. Unlike, and I'm not putting down Steve Walsh. I don't know what Steve was going through, but unlike Steve Walsh not wanting to sing "Till You Face the One Who Rose," Dave Amato was all over singing it. And Dave Amato, granted, has told me, and this is really a trip to me. I guess REO Speedwagon does. They do meet and greets from time to time, either before show or after show.
Yep. And
they sit at a table and they autograph CDs and so forth. He said, "John, the other guys in the band are so tired of hearing about Mastedon. I mean, they are getting tired of it.
Really?
It's like all these people come to see REO because they want to see Dave Amato and ask him about Mastedon. You know what I mean? And they show up with...
Love that.
These guys show up with no REO CDs. They show up with all Mastedon CDs. And these guys are like, what in the world? What? It's like... And when Dave tells me these stories, I can just imagine them all sitting at the table.
Right.
And this super fan with a Mastedon T-shirt walks up, and Mastedon albums and CDs and this stack of all this paraphernalia walks up.
Right.
With no REO stuff and just goes right to Dave Amato. Just bypasses all the rest of the guys in REO. And they just watch this guy walk by right over to Dave Amato.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, I could just picture that, and it's just, to me, it's just hilarious. He said he was at the NAMM show a couple of years ago. Same thing. All these guys come up to him wanting to know about Mastedon.
Wow.
It had Mastedon had a really big cult following, and Mastedon was some of those CDs were going for as much as $200, or albums were going for as much as $250.
Well, what?
In fact, there's a guy that has both Mastedon records. They're in pristine condition, and he emailed me on a Facebook message and wants $120 a piece for them.
Are you looking for them?
I don't have them. Yeah, I'm looking for them.
Sorry I gave mine away.
Oh, I wish you would have given them to me.
Yeah.
Because I have the CDs, of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'd love to have the albums, but